Welcome to What Are Those, the show that explores the art of sneaker culture. I'm your host, Adam Butler, and yes, I'm so happy to be here. As always, the show is powered by the On My Feet app. That's right, the OMFnetwork, available on Android, iOS. I have no idea what you're waiting for. You need to go ahead and download that joint. I'm on there. You know you need to follow me for all of the heat checks. And speaking of this week's heat check, it's the time you all been waiting for, so let's go ahead and get to it. And this week, I'm rocking the Jordan 1 Shattered Backboard 3.0. Now, there's a little bit of controversy with this sneaker because, of course, we all know the Shattered Backboard 1.0 is a complete classic. All right. But I love this one, man. I like the leather upper. I like the crumpled look, man. I like the off-white sole on it. I've worn these quite a few times, man. Looking to get way more wear out of this one over the summer. But really, I think it's more of a fall shoe, so maybe I'll wait till then. Either way, that's this week's heat check. Again, let me know in the comments below what you're rocking on feet. Okay, so this week I have a special guest, my man Rel from the Rel World podcast. We're going to talk about bots and we're going to talk about the sneakers app. Listen, if you're a fan of this show, then you're just like me. You've had a couple of issues trying to cop things that you like. Well, Rel's going to come on to talk about some of the ways that you can get over that and just sort of share our thoughts on how bots work on the sneakers app and everything that comes along with it.
Yo, what's good, brother? How you feeling?
Oh, man, I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling really good, man. Thank you for doing the show. Appreciate you coming on, man. We've been talking about doing some sneaker stuff together for some time now, so I'm happy to have you on, bro.
Absolutely. I mean, you're a man that's got like impeccable taste.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
I love it.
Appreciate that. Look, anytime the word impeccable comes up, I'm with it.
Yeah.
Yo, we're both consumers. We both love the game. We both love copping sneaks, and for us it's just something we it's just part of a culture for us, right? What's been your experience when it comes to like dealing with like apps like sneakers and Foot Locker and all that, and just bots and all the craziness that comes with the game?
So I'll keep it real. I've never won anything on sneakers. I took, I'd say, a W once. I got some Air Jordan 11s, but I didn't put in like my apartment number. So UPS sent them to me and they never came there and they sent them back. So I didn't even get that. And ever since that, that's like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Literally, like that's where we're going. So I think a lot of like how I feel about it is, sort of like where everyone else is. Mm-hmm. You can't get anything you want anymore. Like I remember us being kids. You went to the store, you picked up the sneakers you wanted, you put them on in the store and you walked out.
Right.
We don't experience that anymore.
Yeah. That's funny you talk about like the one W I got on the sneakers app. The only W I got on the sneakers app was the first time I used the sneakers app, actually, which is like, I don't know, maybe like 5 years ago at this point. I got some Jordan 12 wings, which I'm looking at right now. And I kept those things on ice because I swore I got like the greatest cop ever because I got them on the sneakers app. That's like the only W. That was 5 years ago. I don't even mess with it anymore. Do you as a consumer, when a new sneak comes out, let's say, it's Raging Bull 5s, right? Let's just say you're into that. Do you just get in your mind that I'm not going to be able to cop these for retail? That retail price doesn't exist. The price that really exists on these sneakers is the resale price. Do you just think of it like that? Like, you know what? 190 is not the price. 350 is the price.
So I've gotten to the point, because I have enough kicks, honestly, that if I don't hit, it's cool. It'll come back again. And I think having that sense of peace is the only reason that I'm able to sort of move in this environment now, bro. Like, right. I don't worry about it if I can't get it. Like, I'm just like everybody else. Let me log in, sign in. Yeah. If it works, cool. If it doesn't, it's all good.
Yeah, but see that, and I share that mindset, right? Because at some point it's like, how many sneakers can you possibly have, right? And then stuff that's coming out is stuff that we've either already owned or we currently have. Like I remember when the Bread 11s came out, I was like, I don't need the Bread 11s. I'm looking at Bread 11s right now. I have them, right? But for people that didn't get the opportunity to cop 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago, right? And can't say, well, I already have them or I have enough. Is it fair? Is it fair for a kid to sit at home and, spend thousands of dollars on a bot to cop up everything only to resell it. Is it fair to the kid that's sitting at home and saying, yo, I just really wanted to get that experience. I just really wanted to buy something for the market price?
No, I think of course not. The way that you even led the question, so much of it's become like incestuous. And when I say that, if you notice, for instance, Foot Locker put a huge investment in a GOAT. Yeah. So it's, you know, not surprising to me that they're also feeding off of the profits from like the resale game. Like everybody knows a lot of the sneaker shops that have like, you know, like the Nike affiliation, they're clearly backdooring pairs to GOAT because, you know, how else are people getting pairs that they have that are verified before they're able to ship?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like capitalism, like we're in this industry now where unfortunately everything is about as much money as you could possibly make on something and not necessarily just for the love of like, I guess like the culture. Like we want to wear them. Kids don't want to do that anymore. That's
real. And I think, you know, like all things, you just have to adjust. You know, it's you know, sometimes you want to sit around and you want to, you know, whine about it, talk about how unfair it is, right? You know, I think about, you know, if someone wants to go buy a luxury car, all they really need is the money to go buy that car, right? If my wife wants to go buy like some lubes or something like that, it's just a matter of having the money for it. It's not chasing down one pair of them, hoping it's in your local sneaker shop or spending, you know, 3 times over the market value, over the retail value for it to use like StockX or GOAT or something like that. But it's one of those things where it's like, if you're going to just be part of this, and this is what I tell people, bro, and tell me what you think about this. You don't have to worry about the hype. Get what you like. There are sneakers in the sneaker store, right? You could go to Foot Locker and buy sneakers. You could go to, you know, wherever and buy sneakers. You may not be able to get off-white, you know, 5s or something like that, but you could get a cool pair of Air Max. So for me, it's more about how do you make it work for you? Can you take something that isn't hyped up and make it fresh, right? As opposed to trying to get the hyped up sneaker only to get, you know, to be, you know, to fit in with people.
Well, let's be real. Even the sneakers that didn't have hype years ago now have it. Remember, there was a period, I'd say around what, like 2007, 2008, I was dunk heavy. I had dunk lows and everything. Yeah. That went away for like a decade. Yeah. Now it's like you can't keep a pair of dunks in store. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember there was like the standard release dunk that you could buy, or like, you know, like the more limited stuff. Like I had the De La Soul dunks. Thought I was really killing it, you know? Right. But like now everything is like that. So if it's hard for you to get like, you know, there's no such thing as a general release anymore. Because a general release means what? There are 50,000 pairs or something? Like, okay, but 50,000 people want those, however many sizes. We're not talking about a lot of people that could wear sneakers. Like, I don't know how often you see people, but for the most part, a lot of the hype sneakers, I don't even see people wearing them. That's such a great point. And you said something in there that made me chuckle a little bit, because you said, I don't know how often you see people. That's such a good point, right? Because we're in a pandemic, right? Totally. And it changed everything. The pandemic, you know, people started buying online. That sneakers was no exception. You know, people started buying. So it's not like I'm just going to my local DTLR, my local Shoe City, or my local Foot Locker. I'm not just like going to the mall on the regular because, you know, I'm trying to stay safe. That's just me, how I've been rolling, right? Sure. So you're right. Like those general releases that probably would have sat in the mall, but they would have made sure that Foot Locker had a certain amount or whatever, and it's not a lot of hype on them. Yeah, they're not, you know, you're going to have to buy them online. And if you're buying them online, then you're dealing with people that are dealing with bots, and they decide whether the sneaker has hype or not. To your dunk point, and we can begin to wrap up on this, to your dunk point, that's such a great point, because it talks about how you're speaking about how some things were super hyped up at one point. In the 2000s, the dunks were all the rage, right? Then that went away. People started dealing with Nike basketball, Kobe, stuff like that. Now the dunks are back. I remember just a couple of years ago, you talk about the De La Soul dunks. I remember going to a consignment shop in the city in Washington, D.C., and those De La Soul dunks were sitting in the consignment shop for like 4 or 5 weeks straight. I remember thinking like, I should just cop these. They were like $50, bro. And they were in great condition. And I remember thinking I should just cop these just because they De La Soul and I love hip hop. Not knowing if I would have bought those De La Soul dunks then, I'd be sitting on like a $2,000 product right now. Mm-hmm. Crazy how this thing works, man. And part of it is like why you gotta love it, right? We all want to have what we can't. Like
Yeah.
everybody loves that. Like that's part of the allure. You want to have what the next man can't. Like we don't want to all dress the same, have the same outfit on, but it's like I can go back into the closet and realize like I got this dope pair of kicks. Somebody that I know isn't going to be wearing them. Like you don't want to look like all your friends. So I get it. Like the allure is crazy.
Absolutely, brother. Before I let you go, man, you have a dope podcast. You got merch that's involved with that podcast. Talk to me about the real world.
Yo, so while we're actually doing this, you need to come on and, like let's rap about some subjects. But frankly, I just decided years ago, I saw everyone else having a platform and I figured why not myself? And it'd be a cool idea to have to kind of highlight people who don't necessarily have like the same hype or notoriety that you were having of like, like the Joe Budden people or just different celebrities, because everybody had a voice and an opinion. And so I got a bunch of my friends or people that I personally knew to come onto the pod, and it's been great. We've gotten to share experiences. My big thing is like I'm Hove. Hopefully if I go through it, you won't have to. So Hove go through that so you won't have to. So a lot of it is kind of like reflecting on just like my experiences and how, those sort of shape me. And maybe if you hear something or you listen to something, it decides to send you down a better path than it sent me.
There it is, man. Follow this man, brother. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. We're going to do this again, and I will be more than happy to come on your show and talk about whatever, brother.
Let's get it, bro.
Big shout outs to my boy Rail. Remember, follow the Rail World podcast. Listen to that thing, man. He's really dope. And as you see, he has a wealth of knowledge, man. Remember, let me know what you're rocking on feet, okay? Hit me up in the comments below. I want to know what you're rocking so I can feature you in next week's Heat Check. That's something I really want to do with you guys, all right? As always, I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. Remember to follow me, MSR_Adam, MSR_Adam on all platforms. And until next week, ladies and gentlemen, continue to be great. I'm up out of here.